And moving on to the next one. Again, this is going to be based on June ADP startups. We're going to go with, would you rather have JaVonte Williams, who's going as the RB20 in the late third round, or Joe Mixon, who's going as the RB15 in the end of the second?
Okay, this one's easy for me, B. I'm gonna go Mixon here. Everybody thinks that Melvin Gordon is just gonna get beat out by Williams when he's had a pretty good year last year. And considering that team last year was in shambles, over there picking up Williams for me at least means I have probably to, for me, honestly, to feel comfortable in a draft. That means I'm gonna have to reach for Gordon later, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to force myself because, bro, Gordon's a baller. You know, I don't know. I don't understand all this. Oh, he hasn't even beat this guy out yet. I'm not saying that Javonte Williams will not be the starter there eventually, but Gordon's going to play. So it's for me, it's a little complicated because the way that I draft and the way that I do things, for me to feel comfortable as an owner, I would have to grab Javonte Williams, and then later on I would have to get Gordon, which is definitely a possibility, man, because Gordon is dropping massively in drafts and startups. I mean, massively in startups, man. I picked him up, I think, in the 13th round the other day in a startup, dude. It was crazy with the way he's dropping, and it's no knock to Javonte Williams. To be honest with you, it's just the situation over there. They really didn't go quarterback. I'm a little concerned about what's going on over there. That's just me. No knock on Williams, but for me, seeing is believing in the NFL level. I've seen a lot of running backs have crazy college careers and come to the NFL and do nothing. Everybody's back on the Mixon train, and without Gio Bernard, there it's looking like with any major setbacks or injury, the train might actually pop off this season. Brandon, upside is way better than than the past 2 years, in my opinion. I would definitely look into acquiring the rookie out of Michigan, Chris Evans, in the rookie draft, which is super cheap, probably the fourth round. Sometimes he's not even getting drafted. Taxi squad stash, he won't even count against your roster spot. If anything happens to Mixon and this kid pops off, you can thank me later.
No, we talked about it. Chris Evans is a great value at the end of rookie drafts. Gio's gone. The only guy in between him and Mixon is Samaje Perine, who's slow as dirt, bro. So we ain't worried about him. You know, I like Mixon. I mean, we talked about it last week. I'm on the Joe Mixon train. You know, RB15. I think he's gonna be better than that. But for me, I'm. It's funny. We're at odds again because for me it's JaVonte, and the only reason I say JaVonte, he's younger. He doesn't have the injury history that Mixon has. That's the one thing that does bother me with Mixon. Every time he gets going, every time they give him the rock and he starts to get that workload, that volume that we want our RB1s to have, he comes up with an injury, right? And he's starting to get that injury-prone label. The one thing about JaVonte, like I said, he's younger. They want to run the ball over there in the Broncos. Like you said, they didn't get a quarterback. I think we're going to be talking about the Broncos a little bit later today, so I'm not going to get too much in detail. I got some nuggets for you over there about the Broncos and their tendencies, so we can get into that. So I'm not going to speak too much on it right now, but for me, it's JaVonte, and we can revisit that later on in the show.